billionaire CEO wanted to test his wife's true feelings, so he deliberately rented a three-wheeled vehicle to pick her up for moving. Before the girl could ask any questions, he carried her into the car. After more than an hour of riding, they finally reached their destination. The girl looked at the old house in front of her. She mistakenly thought the CEO had sold all his assets to marry her. But what the girl didn't expect was that everything here was carefully planned by the CEO. The CEO thought the girl was just a gold digger. That's why he purposely pretended to be bankrupt to test her. It turned out that 2 days ago, while the girl was hanging out with her best friend at a bar, she saw a scheming woman drugging the CEO's drink. Out of kindness, the girl decided to warn the CEO, but when she rushed upstairs, she couldn't find him. She could only try knocking on the door to find his whereabouts. Unexpectedly, the next second, the CEO pulled her directly into the room and took advantage of the drug's effect to spend the night with her. When the girl woke up the next day, she received news that her foster father was critically ill. She quickly grabbed her clothes and ran out. After the girl left, the CEO woke up. He learned from his assistant that the girl's intentions weren't pure. She was probably after his money. But the CEO hung up on the assistant and then canceled all meetings for the day. He went alone to the hospital where the girl was. At this moment, the girl was isolated and helpless. The medical fees for treating her foster father were too expensive. Even after calling all her friends, she couldn't raise enough money. Just as she was sitting on the floor crying silently, the CEO appeared right in front of her. The CEO said he wanted to make a deal with the girl. If she married him, he would cover her foster father's medical expenses. After some inner struggle, the girl finally agreed to the deal. However, just after they got their marriage certificate, the CEO abandoned the woman and left alone, leaving the girl standing there, powerless and furious. When the assistant learned about the CEO's quick marriage, he was shocked. He immediately advised the CEO to keep his distance from the girl, because, in his eyes, the woman was nothing but a gold digger. But the CEO remained unmoved. He said he wanted to trap the girl first, and then slowly play with her. The CEO stood outside the company, waiting for the girl to finish work. The girl, confused, asked where the CEO's car was. The CEO pointed to the old three-wheeled vehicle in the distance. But the girl wasn't after the CEO's money as he thought. She was actually more grateful to him for selling his house to help her with money when he went bankrupt. It turned out they were high school classmates. The girl had secretly had feelings for the CEO for many years, knowing that he was from a wealthy family and she was just an ordinary poor girl. The gap in their status made her afraid to confess. She could only secretly watch him from afar, and even secretly drew a picture of his physique, hoping to use it as her first design for a competition. Years after graduating, they unexpectedly met again. The CEO recognized her at first sight as his high school classmate. Later, their paths crossed by chance. The CEO's assistant found out that the girl's foster father was hospitalized due to a serious illness and urgently needed a large sum for surgery. The CEO concluded that the girl had intentionally approached him for money, but the money the girl raised for her father's medical fees was given to the foster parent's biological daughter, who took it all for herself. With her foster father's condition worsening and urgently needing surgery, the girl was powerless after draining all her savings. She sat on the floor crying. At the same time, the CEO, who was being forced into marriage by his parents,